I'm the scat man. I'm the scat man.
Happy Wednesday. Second show, losing my voice. Now, a little tease there, getting everybody all excited in the chat. I bet Uncle Carlo, fresh, clean, shaven, looking good. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think about the man hanging out.
Think about me. I want to know what they think about you. You are the stack man, beast, whatever new nickname you want to give yourself. You are absolutely on fuego with your stacks right now.
Let me just pull out the old sheet. We do things real technologically over here. The old stack counter.
There's the sheet.
The red stacks that we've been putting out started tracking Tuesday, March 4th, the Tuesday before trade deadline. The red one, all stacks are 46 units.
Holy shit.
Yeah. The ones that I've posted after 9.65 last night, 88 units.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you, man.
Good for me.
And hopefully all of our audience has been tailing you as well, too.
Yeah. All right. NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction, 14-year NHL vet Carlo Colaiacovo. I sent him a message at 6:30. I said, one of your former teammates has come into my D-word card collection. His name, and the hockey community probably doesn't really know him very well, but absolutely lit it up in junior, did he not?
Oh, yeah. Corey Pecker? Yeah.
Corey Pecker, maybe the best name in hockey.
This guy was the Alexander Ovechkin of junior hockey, is what he was.
So how does that not translate sometimes? Like, the guy's putting up 50 at junior, like,
yeah.
How hard is that? Like, some people, it's just
a different game, right? I mean, he was the guy that just in junior hockey had a shot that would find its way in the net and would always be in the right place on the ice. And in the NHL, it's more than just about that, right? You've got to play in different areas of the ice, and you've got to be more responsible in other areas of your game. And some guys just don't have that.
Now, here's something I always wondered, and I assumed it kind of translates well across all sports. Guys who are absolutely gifted, don't have to work on it, glide through, and then when they get to something more competitive after they've been drafted and they get to their first skate, is it harder for them to now adapt a work ethic that they maybe didn't have before?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but I mean, here's the thing. If you play junior hockey as a scorer and sort of like how you just assessed that type of player, in the National Hockey League, sometimes those spots aren't open for you right away, right? I mean, you could be a top line guy in junior and get away with just floating and playing with good players and knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. In the NHL, if that top line position isn't available for you and we need a call up, we need a guy to play on the third or fourth line, and you're not a guy that can play that role, you're not going to get that call up, right? So that's why I always say, like, the easiest part is getting there. The hardest part is staying there, because to stay there, you've got to be able to be trusted to play any role that you're asked. And when you're playing the role that you're good at, you've got to excel in it.
Nope. Wise words from a well-dressed man. These are my notes. These are my notes from last night. OV6 away from the record. Minnesota right now, clenched butt cheeks.
Yes.
They're worried. St. Louis, hold on. We're done. St. Louis and the Kings are an absolute wagon right now. That's why Minnesota should be very, very worried. I did just bet today Minnesota plus 700 not to make playoffs. They were 15-1 last game, and I would have kicked myself if I didn't get on it. Scott Lawton, 1-2 forwards, without a point versus the Flyers, 7-2 win. The East is a 5-way race for that one spot, likely, unless Ottawa falters. And the Atlantic will come down to likely the last game of the year. What are your thoughts heading into 10 to 12 games remaining on the season?
So last game of the year, I haven't looked at the schedule, but are any of those teams playing each other?
I'll take a look right now. Where are your thoughts here?
I absolutely totally agree with your Minnesota stance. I think with the way Calgary is playing right now, with the games in hands that they have, St. Louis could go on another cup run. Like I would not want to play St. Louis in the first.
I bought Jordan Binnington 320 to 1 for Conn Smythe.
Wow. I mean, like you look at the recipe that they created on their last Stanley Cup run. It started with a coaching change, right? When Craig Berube took over. Then it was their goaltender, finding their goaltender, and it feels like Binnington's found himself again. And then it was the depth of the team that was the strength of the team. And I don't think people are really recognized. They just see the results. This team has caught fire without Colton Parayko in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, that's a massive piece to lose on the back end, and it just doesn't seem like it's phased them. They're a 4-line team. All 4 lines can produce. All 4 lines can play. They play fast. They play big. They play physical. And their special teams are just killing everybody right now. So
Dylan Holloway is an absolute steal. And I talked about the Kings too. Warren Fogle is also a steal. Like they got some good pieces.
And LA, like the way LA is playing too, like Kemper is finding his Stanley Cup form that he had with the Colorado Avalanche. And their dominance on home ice. Like they've only lost 3 games at home all season. And they're a team too. I watched that first period when I came home last night, or when I checked into the hotel here, and they play fast. Like we always say, the teams that are playing the best at this time of year are the teams you should be scared of. And I think LA and St. Louis are 2 great examples of teams that I don't think anybody wants to play. Like if you're Winnipeg right now and you clinch that President's Trophy, the worst matchup for Winnipeg in the first round will be the St. Louis Blues.
100% agreed.
Right?
Like if Binnington has it in him. I wasn't a huge Binnington fan, but Binnington has that dog in him that could step up and take away Mr. Hart Trophy. Connor Hellebuck, I would love to see it. The Holloway Kyrou Shed line is an absolute wagon. It's insane what they do every game. It's probably been one of the most profitable.
Man, what a Shed point would have done to me, mine, and your account.
Oh, and there were so many late goals. There were so many chances too. You're like,
I know. But
you're like Bromberg again.
Kyrou and Holloway got on the board on the first goal, and you're like, okay, we just need one more from Shed. We're good.
Yeah, But looking at the last games, Tampa Bay, Florida, game 81.
That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, just don't get 1 point each. Don't be a 3-point game.
I think if I recall, the last time I checked strength of schedule was probably about a week ago. And of those 3 teams, Florida, Tampa, and Toronto had the easiest of the schedules remaining. So what that means, I don't think it means much. I know Toronto had a get-right game again yesterday with a 7 spot on Philly, but they play San Jose, a team they already lost to. They got to go into LA. They got to go into Anaheim. This team's back on the road. They've shown they can win these type of games, but they've also shown they can lose these type of games. So it's hard to really know what to expect out of this Leafs team.
I'm on the Blues bandwagon right now. That's
what are their odds to win the Stanley Cup?
Good question. Let's head over to Sports Interaction and see that. What I like, and let's be honest, it's kind of like in the John Gibson thing. John Gibson might be one of the most underrated goalies of our generation, honestly, for what he's done.
Good, and he plays on a crappy team.
Cam Fowler.
Yeah.
Used to be Captain America. Like he was Captain America years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's sitting there playing PP1 or PP2, filling in that role with Parayko. So there's a lot to like about St. Louis. I'm going to get it there soon, but let's get to this game. New Jersey, Chicago minus 225, over under sitting at 5.5. 3-pack here. Let's go Jesper Bratt over 2.5 shots plus money. We're going to go Ryan Donato over 2.5 shots on goal plus 130. And old Uncle Josh here might have that ladder to 5. I might keep it to myself and not put it out because I don't want it on my record, but I'm happy to have it in my bank account. But I got the 2, I got the 3, I got the 4, and I got the 5 on Donato here. And then this second line, the Glass, Nosen, Bratt line, 500. We'll take it. It doesn't correlate PP1, but Glass and Nosen correlate on the PP2. So we'll take that. Suki scene Blues 80-1 on DK. So you're still getting some of that not in the playoffs value for them right now. And I don't know.
What were they to win the cup?
80-1.
Wow, that's not bad.
My 320 Jordan to Bennington, I sent it to AK and he said you might as well just buy Trump coins.
Right now, you just sent it to him or earlier?
I sent it to him, but at 320, I sent it to last week. I'm like, look at this steal. He's like, you're a donkey. I'm like, no, it's down to 200. Look out, watch out.
Wow.
Chicago snapped a 2 or fewer goal streak with a 7-4 win over the Flyers. Everybody's putting up 7s versus the Flyers. What a team. They had lost 7 straight games before that. New Jersey coming off that 4-3 shootout loss to Vancouver where they gave up that, I think it was a Connor Garland goal with 30 seconds left. Tough break there. New Jersey, 3 straight losses. First road game of a 3-game road trip. Chicago, at Winnipeg, at Minnesota, then home to Minnesota and home to the Rangers. So when you're talking about a schedule spot for maybe a locker room that, let's be honest, he might have lost. Like who was it in the news the other day that was saying, yeah, he's like, maybe he should just play better. Like, what's that about?
Well, that's about clearly a coach that is extremely frustrated with 2 things. 1, the way his team is playing, and 2, having to play the rest of the season without his best player. Because Jack Hughes was ruled out for the season, and this team has struggled to find an identity with him being out of the lineup. No Dougie Hamilton either on the back end. So this team is finding a way to survive the grind without 2 of their best players. And I think when they are showing, signs of inconsistency and the details in the game aren't where the coach wants to be, this is what he obviously resorts to. And kind of uncharacteristic of him because he didn't really see this in Toronto as much. And then I can't look as I'm doing this on my phone. I forgot to bring my laptop with me here, but did I see that New Jersey's minus 210 favorite in this game?
Yes. What did I have there? Yeah, minus 225.
Like, why would you bet New Jersey as that big of a favorite?
You're not. And the Marks, like if
Allen's
better than Markstrom. If they go Markstrom, like I might go Chicago.
Yeah, like isn't there great value on Chicago? Like playing nothing to play for, coming off of putting up a 7 spot in their last game. Like I just feel like the pressure on New Jersey in this game is really high for them to get a result. These are tough. I always say these are the toughest games to play at this time of year. Like look at Buffalo, the win that they got over Ottawa yesterday. Like these teams like Chicago, San Jose, Buffalo that have nothing to play for are the hardest games to play.
Insight saying, juice pumpers, hit that like button. Yeah, you might be selling me on Chicago here, but just think about what would happen with New Jersey right here. On that 3-game skid, they lose this, then they got to go to Winnipeg, lose that, go to Minnesota. That's going to be a tight one. Then home to Minnesota, then the Rangers team that's going to be absolutely desperate too. Like, if things go south, you're talking about maybe an 8-game losing streak.
Yikes. And could they potentially miss the playoffs? I think so.
But everybody, like, it's starting to get pretty clogged up there from down. Like, all the 8, 9, 10 teams are playing well. We talked about Montreal maybe peaking a little too early. You talk about a team wanting to play well going into the stretch. Maybe Montreal was playing too good just before at the bad time. Devils don't make the playoffs. Weren't we talking about that one before everybody got injured? I think it was a big one.
Yeah, when Jack Hughes got hurt, I think we were talking about them potentially not making the playoffs. Now they got Markstrom back, and you kind of felt like, okay, well, maybe he can hold the fort a bit. And maybe
he's been bad.
He hasn't been that great.
No, Allen's been actually very good. So that's where we are with that. Interesting to see if we can see some goals. The total sitting at 5.5. Hopefully we can see something. But Donato and Bratt on the shots, Glass, Nosen, and Bratt for the points. That's what we got there. Vancouver, it seems like every game is just like this do or die with 10 games left. These games are really cool, but this is not a team facing a team with nothing. Let's go Vancouver Islanders. Almost a pick 'em. Islanders minus 120 short. Home favorites.
Suitor. Wow.
P. Is it Pius? I wanted to call him
so.
Pius. Okay.
Pius.
Pius. I say Pius. You say Pius. What did I go here? Because I bet on him a lot, so I didn't want to put too much in here on the show. But 3 shots on goal at plus 250. I'm like, his point was plus 110. I wanted that. The guy's center in the first line with DeBrusk and Besser. We already know that Hoglander and Pedersen are out for this road trip. They're done. So we're starting to see, and I didn't even mention it with the Bratt line, with just Bratt. Like, Bratt's playing like 22 minutes. This is a spot where coaches are like, okay, season's on the line. I'm not, like, my bench is a lot shorter than it is at other times. Suter is absolutely in a spot where he's coming off a game, 1 goal, 1 assist, 5 shots on goal. This game might not see a ton, but I may have Suter to 5 shots as well. Wow. What did you think about, like, what does Waugh do coming off? Like, it wasn't just the Palmieri goal they wiped back. Like, this is a team that's had a lot of issues with the goalie interference calling over the last 2 weeks, and it's really cost him some points. Like, what's his message to the team?
I mean, there's not really much of a message you can tell the team. I mean, you want your players to get to that ice, right? Get in front of the net, get in front of the goalie. This is a team that, I mean, we can ask our boy Andy. They over their history, they've struggled to score goals. So he's trying to find a way to generate more offense. I don't know this whole goaltender interference thing. I don't know how that was goaltender interference the other night, where clearly the goalie had at least 3 or 4 seconds to reset and try to find a way to stop the puck. And the only reason why he didn't stop the puck is because it was deflected. I don't know how, it would have changed if there wasn't that incidental contact seconds before. I mean, I'm surprised to see where this Islanders team is. I basically buried them weeks ago. But they're in the hunt. They had one get away from them last game. I mean, this has to be, an all-in game for them. I think they can't afford to have an off night where they are.
Demko back. Interesting to see if he gets the start.
But then you're playing a team that's very similar to you, right? In Vancouver, who's playing the same and has somewhat of the same struggles.
And same style of kind of low event hockey.
Right.
Yeah. But we'll see how it goes. The DeBrusk, Suter, and Besser stack plus 450. That will absolutely be in my card today too. That is a very good price for PP1 correlated. Dallas at Edmonton. Just speaking of tight butt cheeks, Edmonton's still in tight butt cheek town for sure too, right? Like, everything's getting clogged up. No McDavid, no Draisaitl. Edmonton did get that 5-4 win over Seattle without them. That was Saturday, so they do have some rest advantage here. But let's go. Duchesne and Granlund for a point each at plus 240. Now, the problem with this in Dallas is they mixed up their lines late. That's why we had that Marchment empty net goal that stacked that line. Usually Marchment's on that line. So if you know anything about Dallas, they know they absolutely like to juggle the one side of that lineup. But Duchesne and Granlund have been together. They'll stick together. They're PP correlated. Did you see Mikko Rantanen's face after he got hit with that puck?
Yeah, that was tough.
After I sent you that, the true story, after I sent you that Corey Pecker picture, after I sent you a picture of Pecker, I was going through your stuff on eBay, and there was a signed Carlo picture with you with a full cage on, which I thought it was next. There was a picture of you pounding someone in the face with an auto, and I'm like, that's cool. And then the nenext picture of you with like a full cage, I thought that one was funnier. What was that?
Well, that was because I took a shot in the eye.
Huh?
And it was a very scary incident. I couldn't see out of. I'm trying to think of which eye it was. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one here. I couldn't see out of it for a good 2 weeks. Almost lost my eye thankfully I didn't. And I remember the doctor telling me that if I wanted to play the rest of the season, because I'd fractured my orbital bone too, right? It hit me right here. If I wanted to play the rest of the season, it had to be with a cage on, because I couldn't risk another shot to that area that soon, right? So I had to play with a cage on. And I remember I couldn't play with it on. I felt so disoriented. I played some of the worst hockey of my life, because when you're so used to playing with nothing on, you see the puck below you, right?
Yeah.
With the cage on, I couldn't see anything underneath here, and it created more difficulty than I wanted to. And I remember going up to my coach, pulled me aside one game, and he's like, "Hey man, what's up with you?" And I admitted to him, I said,
You almost lost your eye. You fractured your orbital bone, and buddy's like, "What's the matter?"
well, because this was like 3 weeks into me coming back, and I just hadn't been playing like myself. And he's like, what's up with you? And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I can't play with this cage on. I don't feel like myself. I can't handle the puck. Can't shoot. I can't do anything. I don't feel confident doing anything. He goes, well, then why are you playing with it on? I said, because I have to. That's what the doctors told me to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Now, I don't want to lose my eye. He's like, well, talk to the trainer, see if there's an alternative. So I went to the trainers and I got the long visor. I think I told you this story.
Oh my God!
Didn't you find
producer Nick, please find Carlo.
I think we did this before. We found me.
Yeah, I think I was talking about the Chris Pronger junior long visor, the Todd Bertuzzi one. That was comes down to your teeth.
Yeah. And so I put that visor on. And I'm like, holy shit! I can see the puck below me now. I'm good. So I wore that the rest of the season. Yeah. And my game came back.
Awesome. Those are the plays today. I appreciate everybody there in the chat. One more thing before you go. Growing up in a world of no visors. You were a no visor guy your entire career until then, obviously. But do you remember, like, the visors were kind of categorized for, like, the short skill set guys early in their career, like the Theo Fleury types, right? Like, was there ever, like, chirps in the locker room in that era, like, the caveman era would be like, oh, look at Billy in his visor, like making fun of guys wearing visors.
Oh yeah, visor guy. Yeah, there was
visor guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you savages, visor guy.
Yeah, well, I think back in the day, like wearing a visor made you like soft, right? Because there was a toughness of playing with no visor. I never really looked at it that way, but I know there was a conception of people that felt that way.
Yeah.
Or at least an interpretation that they felt that way. But it's just normal now.
Nick Porto brings up that last drinking game question. The grandfathered guys. Yes, Jamie Benn is one. Reeves is another one.
Yeah.
Ryan O'Reilly. Boom. 3.
Yeah. I think those are the only 3.
That's it.
I think those are the only 3.
That is a brave human being. But hey, let's win some money today, bud. Let's go.
I love that idea.
That's a good idea. That's a good. Oh, Zach Bogosian, really? Is that another one?
Oh yeah, Zach Bogosian. Yeah, he's another one.
Awesome. Save for another day, but another one that no one ever talks about. Big Buff. We need to get a Big Buff conversation, because that guy I need to hear your story if you have any stories about Dustin Byfuglien, because stepping away from hockey is insane. And I don't know if there was anybody stronger in the NHL, was there?
No. I mean, that guy, I mean, the fact that he played hockey at an elite level the way that he did is a huge credit to him, because he was a big boy and he had a big boy shot and he did everything with big boy strength.
No visors for Buff.
Yeah.
No,
he was not pleasant to play against or deal with on the ice, but very effective when he was.
All right. Love it. All right. Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction. Let's have a winning day for the Pumpers. Let's go. You're here today. What's today? Today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We keep rolling. Playoff hockey's down the stretch. Let's win some more. I'm Josh Ingles. He's Carlo Colaiacovo, NHL Puck Props presented by Sports Interaction. See you tomorrow. Same time, 10 o'clock. Cheers.
Ciao.